Why has the 4-4-2 mid-block suddenly become one of the most popular defensive strategies in elite football? Across Europe, from Mikel Arteta's Arsenal to Unai Emery's Aston Villa and even Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid, we're seeing a rise in teams setting up in a compact 4-4-2 mid-block out of possession. But it's not just about defending deep, it's a calculated, energy efficient and highly effective way to control space, press selectively and launch fast transitions. Let's break down exactly why it's working and why it's spreading across top level football. The 4-4-2 mid-block is built around one key principle: the control of space. The idea is simple: deny the opposition central space by keeping the team compact vertically between the forward and defensive lines and horizontally between touchline to touchline. This forces the opposition away from danger zones and around the block or over the top where chances are harder to create. The most dangerous attacks and highest quality chances often come from central play, but the 4-4-2 mid-block attempts to nullify that threat. And although there's the ability to still press when needed, the default setting is denying space and suffocating the zones between lines. High pressing requires an immense energy output due to the larger distances and increased high intensity sprints. And in today's football calendar, that's not always possible. With 50, 60 and for some players even 70 game seasons, players are starting to reach physical limits. But mid-block defending allows teams to conserve energy while protecting key areas and to reserve high intensity pressing actions for specific triggers or moments in the game. When teams circulate the ball into wide areas, especially against a compact shape, they can often think that they've found space, but that's the trap. The touchline becomes the 12th defender, wingers and fullbacks close in fast, supported by a pressing forward or the nearest midfielder, and teams can quickly lock the opposition into this wider zone to regain possession or force a turnover. Another key moment: backward passes, especially heavy or awkward ones. These are natural triggers for a sudden squeeze and often happen when a mid-block is shifting side to side and the opposition are forced to circulate the ball. The beauty of the mid-block is that you're not chasing shadows, you're waiting, watching and then pouncing in the right moments. The 4-4-2 mid-block doesn't just protect your goal, it holds the ability to launch devastating attacks. The two strikers and two wide midfielders are in perfect positions to burst forwards. On regains, especially in wider areas as discussed, teams can launch 4-man counter-attacks within seconds. It's one of the most balanced defensive shapes when it comes to transitional potential, and if the opposition loses the ball, it can very quickly transition into a dangerous attack, with the two wide players and two wingers springing into action. Another reason for the rise of the 4-4-2 mid-block is its versatility. Most teams don't start in a 4-4-2 or don't play with a 4-4-2 in possession. You'll often see the team's number 10 push up alongside the striker or the winger tucking inside to make a second striker just for the defensive phase. This means that managers can keep their attacking structures the same while still benefiting from a solid mid-block shape when out of possession. Two visual examples of this are Arsenal's use of Martin Odegaard, who steps up from the number 10 position to create a front two dynamic, and Real Madrid's use of Vinicius Jr., who cuts inside from a wide position to form a similar front two. Both teams create the 4-4-2 mid-block structure, but do so in different ways. Although the 4-4-2 is most popular, the mid-block is successful in other variations. Arne Slot's Liverpool, for example, have frequently used the 4-2-4 mid-block. In this setup, the two wingers play more advanced roles, often pressing the opposition centre-backs while keeping the full-backs in their cover shadows. The principle remains the same, protecting central areas with a compact front two, but it's a slightly more proactive approach than the traditional 4-4-2. Then there's Nuno's Nottingham Forest, who have arguably been the biggest overachievers in the Premier League this season. Forest deploy a 4-2-3-1 mid-block, but it functions more like a screening system. The front four, particularly the front three behind the striker, focus on cutting off passing lanes and forcing play into predictable areas. Behind them, the double pivot works tirelessly in tandem, shifting with the ball and pressing immediately when a line is broken. And these variations show that the mid-block isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Although the 4-4-2 is most popular, coaches are adapting the concept to fit their players. So why is the mid-block back? Well, it's compact and difficult to break down, it's more energy efficient than high pressing, it offers a strong transitional threat, it's flexible for different attacking structures, and it's adaptable to a variety of formations. If you enjoyed this tactical breakdown, please like and please subscribe.